So Samsung has also launched the Watch 5 along the Watch 5 Pro. It is the successor to the Watch 4 launched last year. So if you already have the Watch 4, should you upgrade to the Watch 5? And I'm here to answer that. Let's find out. If you're looking for a fresh design, then you do not need to upgrade to Watch 5 because Watch 5 also looks exactly same as the Watch 4. But there are some changes, and the first one is that the rear end of the Watch 5 has now a curved shape so that it makes better contact with the skin for better readings of heart rate and likewise other things like blood oxygen levels. And then the other change is that now it has a much better protective skin. So this year Samsung is using sapphire crystal glass instead of the Gorilla Glass DX Plus, and this thing is 60% better in terms of scratch resistant. Likewise, it is using the same wrist strap style. This is comfortable, you can use it all day even while sleeping. And then it also gets the same IP68 dust and water resistance if you want that thing. And then this is using the same aluminum frame. It does not get the upgraded titanium frame that we get on the Watch 5 Pro. And unlike the Watch 5 Pro, this thing does come in two sizes. So you can get the 44mm one, which I'm using, or a smaller 40mm version if you want that. So overall, I have been using it pretty roughly. I haven't been kind to this thing and I haven't had any scuff mark. So I think the build quality is good on the Watch 5. Now in terms of display, it gets 1.2 inch on the 40mm one and 1.4 inches display on the 44mm. It is Super AMOLED display. If you compare it against the Watch 4, I think they look the same. But if you compare it against the Watch 5 Pro, the display of the Watch 5 Pro is better in terms of clarity and sharpness, except that they look pretty much the same. The viewing angles are good. The brightness is also good. If you use it outdoors at 50%, it is enough. 50% is enough. If you're using it outdoors, you'll have no problems. So display wise, it is good, and it also gets the same touch bezel. But I think the touch bezel, it's slightly off. It is hard to use on the Watch 5. It's much more easier to use the touch bezel on the Watch 5 Pro. Now, if you're looking for better hardware, you don't need to upgrade from the Watch 4 because it is using the same hardware as the Watch 4, the Exynos W920 chipset, 1.5 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of storage. So in terms of performance, there is no stark difference between the Watch 4 and the Watch 5. Maybe Watch 5 feels slightly more responsive than the Watch 4, but I think overall they feel the same and have similar performance. Now let's talk about the sensors and tracking features. So it is using the same 3-in-1 sensor as the Watch 4, with which you can track your heart rate, blood oxygen level, ECG, but ECG is only available in some of the regions, and even if you live in the supported region, you have to install Samsung Health Monitor app, which only works with Samsung mobile phones. So that's sad. Likewise, the sleep tracking has been improved on the Watch 5. Now it is much more accurate and provides you much more detailed information about your sleep states and sleep cycles. And moving on, it also has a new sensor, a infrared or temperature sensor, which is an upgrade from the Watch 4, but the temperature or infrared sensor is not usable right now. I mean, there is no feature to use this sensor, so you don't need to upgrade if you are looking for a new sensor or new feature in terms of health tracking. Now moving on to some active tracking, you can choose from plenty of exercise to track, and I think when you're talking about active tracking, you have to talk about Samsung's auto workout detections. It is really good. Even if you walk for 10 minutes or run for 10 minutes, it will automatically detect your workout. But there is no option to end the tracking manually, and it takes some time to automatically stop the auto detection. So I think that is one of the complaints, but auto track is really good on the Samsung Watch. Likewise, it also gets fall detection, which was already available on the Watch 4. So if you happen to fall, or if the watch detects fall, then it will directly contact your emergency contact from the watch itself. Now in terms of OS, it is using the Wear OS 3.5 and One Year Watch 4.5, and it's very similar to what we got on the Watch 4. So one of the things that's really good on the Samsung Watch is that it has Wear OS, which makes it compatible with Google apps. And likewise, I like the typing on this thing. It is really smooth, especially if you want quick replies and if you want to type fast, then the swipe typing works really good on this thing. And the touch bezel is also better, slightly better than the Watch 4. Overall, the OS experience is smoother than the Watch 4, but I think there is not much difference between them. Now, in terms of battery, Samsung Watch 5 does get an upgrade with both 40mm and the 44mm. So with the slightly bigger battery, I think the battery has been improved, but it is not significant, but still it's better than the Watch 4. So while I was using this Watch 5, while I was tracking at least 1 hour GPS, then using notifications, always on display, and 50% brightness, I was getting more than 24 hours, let's say 24 hours of battery. With the Watch 4, I would usually have to charge the battery by the end of the day. So I was getting less than 24 hours on the Watch 4. So definitely in terms of battery, there is improvement, but it is not massive improvement. So likewise, in terms of charging, I had to charge it for 2 hours if I wanted it to go from 0 to 100. Likewise, it can charge to 35% in 30 minutes. So the Watch 5 comes with built-in mic and a speaker as well, so that helps you take calls directly from the watch. So now let's test its mic and speaker.
Hello. So this is how it sounds from the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. It's pretty good. Let me know how it sounds in the comments down below. Sorry. So this is how it sounds from the mic of Samsung Galaxy Watch 5. I think it's pretty good. Let me know how it sounds in the comments down below.
So if you already have the Watch 4, you don't need to upgrade to the Watch 5 because they look the same, they perform the same. It only has slightly bigger battery and better protection in terms of screen, but except that, they are the same and they perform the same. But if you are looking for something better, you should look at the Watch 5 Pro because it has much better battery and some exclusive features which you might want if you are a pro user or an athlete or fitness focused person. So yes, if you have the Watch 4, you don't need necessarily the Watch 5, but you can look at the Watch 5 Pro instead. So that's it for this video. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, do subscribe and hit that bell icon as well for notifications. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, namaste.